Hello everyone, this is Martin. It's Sunday evening, this time a little bit later than usual. Usually I try to get these videos recorded in the morning or early afternoon, but it is now Sunday evening just before 9 p.m. And again, this is another weekly update for the coming week, August the 10th to the 14th. So again, we're going to take a look at the different currency pairs, and it looks like a lot of the currency pairs are getting ready to break out above their resistance zones. The U.S. currency seems to be really strong against some other currencies, and so we're going to look at those as well, and we're going to see what is going to transpire for this week. We're also going to cover some of the basics. I'm going to go back to basics, and by that I mean when I say a currency is in an uptrend, like what do I actually mean? What are we looking for when a currency is in an uptrend, and what are we looking for as far as entries are concerned, how entries are supposed to be taken, and what's ideal and what's not. So again, just we're going to cover some of the basics as we cover the different currency pairs. So let's get started. Okay, the very first currency pair is the EURUSD daily chart. Again, we're looking at the daily chart, and the currency pair is actually in a downtrend. It started up here, as you can see on the left side where my mouse cursor. It's been going down. It created a lower high here, another lower high here, and then all of a sudden it seems to be consolidating within a triangle. You can see the lower trend line. Here's the upper trend line, but price did eventually break down below the lower trend line right here. You can see that it has gone up. It is now retesting the trend line, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a bounce to see if price goes up maybe a wee bit higher or bounces back down lower, and then we want to sell below the support here. Okay, so the other idea, like I said, is if we don't wait for a break below the support, when I talk about a bounce, we're looking for price to go up a little bit to a resistance, in this case the 110 area, okay, and then waiting for a bounce, which is giving us evidence to the downside, and after it turns around or bounces off the 110 zone, then we can take a sell trade as long as price is below this EMA line right here, this moving average. Okay, so MACD is below 0. You can see price generally is below the 50 SMA, and also we see a red cloud right here. So price, so we're just waiting for evidence to the downside before we can take an entry. Okay, next pair is the British Pound USD daily. This one's fairly obvious. We're trading in a sideways channel. Okay, sideways channel on a daily chart, and you can see price going up, hitting resistance. The upper trend line here designates a resistance area. Price comes back down, price goes back up again, hitting resistance again, price comes way back down to a support area. So price is just going back and forth, and right now price is below the 50 SMA. I kind of expect price to come down a little bit further. When, I'm not too sure. So all what we're doing is waiting for a breakout, above the 157.10 area, waiting for a breakout below the 154.50. You can place pending orders above here or below here, or just wait for a candle to close and see what happens. But that's what I'm looking for. Okay, and MACD here is just slightly below 0. Next currency pair is the Australian USD. Okay, so again, getting back to basics, we can see this price is in a major downtrend. Okay, major downtrend, and what we normally do is we wait for price to move up higher in a pullback, and by that we mean we're waiting for price to come back, pull back to a resistance, a very strong resistance area, and we have the combination of the 50 SMA right here. Okay, and we have the gray rectangle, which is the resistance area at the 76 7600 area, 7600 to 7610. So we're waiting for price to pull back and then bounce back lower, looking for evidence to the downside for a sell trade. Now, this is a one way to trade. Let's just take that off for a second. The other way is just to wait for a break below the low here. However, this was a previous low that went back a very long time, so it was a major low. I believe price is still going to keep going higher, and if you're looking to trade a little bit higher, this is called a counter trend trade, but mostly because we are talking about the Australian US dollar in a downtrend. We're waiting for a bounce. We're waiting for price to go higher and then bounce back down to the downside. That's what I would be doing. Next pair is the New Zealand USD, almost similar to the Australian USD pair. Again, waiting for price to go higher. Okay, come up to where the 50 SMA and the gray rectangle kind of meet in that area. This is confluence. Okay, and we're looking for a price to come up to approximately the 6780, 6800 area, then looking for evidence to the downside. So that's what we're looking for here. The MACD is well below zero. As long as the MACD is below zero, we can still expect price to continue its downtrend. But again, as in any pair, it cannot go down forever. There are pullbacks or retracements, as you can see here. Here we're looking again for pullback retracements before waiting for evidence to the downside. Now we get to the USDCAD, and again we're in a major uptrend. So the US pair, the US currency is very strong, especially against the commodity currencies. By commodities currencies, we mean Canadian dollar, the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. These are the commodities. Commodities for Canada being oil, mainly the oil industry, for Australia being the gold industry and other minerals. So the US dollar is very strong against those other currencies, and we can expect price to go a little bit higher. Price may indeed go up to the 13200 area, and then we can expect either a bounce back to the downside, okay, or a break above the resistance. Again, a break above the 3200 area. Okay, I don't know if price is going to come back all the way down to here to the 12900. If it does, I mean, if price comes back down lower, then we can certainly wait for a bounce to buy back up. But right now, it looks like price is heading higher because it is Sunday evening. The markets opened up a few hours ago. Price may indeed go and test this previous resistance right here, then bounce back down to come back lower. Or at some point within the next few days, price may indeed go right through resistance, break above here, and then go higher. Okay, so that's the US CAD. The US Swiss franc is similar. It is already going higher. So similar to the US CAD, we're waiting for a breakout and buy the breakout above the resistance, which in this case is the 9880 and 9900 area. Okay, so that's fairly simple. If price does bounce back down lower, it's going to come back down lower. Where? We're not too sure, but it may come back all the way down to the 9700 area, and in that case again we would look for a bounce to the upside, waiting for bullish evidence to the upside. So again, waiting for price to go back higher and waiting for price to bounce back off the resistance. And if it does, then you can make a short counter trend trade, or just wait for price to break above the resistance zone of 9880, 9900 for a continuation of the uptrend. Again, the MACD is above the zero. And finally, we get to the US-Japanese pair. US-Japanese pair, we did hit the resistance right over here. Price had come down quite a bit and hit another previous support area right here. So price seems to be bouncing back up. If price stays above this EMA right here, or this moving average, then price would most likely go higher to test the resistance here again, and possibly we would look for a breakout above the 125.10 area. So again, you can place a pending buy stop order above the 125.10. That would be right about there. Waiting for price to jump right above the resistance and go higher to retest the previous high right over here. And if it breaks the previous high right here, it will even go higher than this. So again, we are in a major uptrend. The MACD is above 0. I expect price to go higher to at least retest the resistance, and if it bounces back down, then price will come back down lower again, and it will probably consolidate then for a few days before testing the high once more and then breaking above the 125.10 area. So I do expect price to continue going higher. There's no reason why it shouldn't. The US currency is still fairly strong, and there you go. So that's basically it for the currency pairs. Again, number of currency pairs are testing or will be testing the respective resistance areas this coming week. They could be breaking out above resistance, so just you can just place pending orders above those zones, or you can just wait for price to bounce back down. And if it does, then that means price is just going to go down sideways a bit for a few more days and then probably bounce higher. So it'll be an interesting week, and we'll see what happens. If you have any good results, any good trading results, please don't hesitate to contact me. Let me know how you're doing. And in the meantime, take care, happy trading, and we'll talk to you again soon. For better quality, please watch the YouTube video. I'm not too sure how the quality of this is. Again, this recording program has changed. As I mentioned to you before, I've had some difficulties with my computer. A lot of programs changed on me, and I've yet to test the quality on this. But if you're having problems, just try to go to the YouTube channel. You probably will get the best quality there. So please leave me your comments. Let me know if you like the video. Let me know if, most importantly, if you're learning something, and tell me how you're doing. So take care, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.